What? I thought you were starting. Oh, you're not starting. Okay. Music. Let's talk about it, people. We are here again with Musicaplenty, here to talk about our favorite albums, favorite songs, things that you might have been inspired by, things that we were inspired by, and so forth.
You're gonna have to forgive my appearance and everything. Yeah. Let's talk about this album. The incredible true story. Something like that.
What's wrong? Why aren't you excited?
I'm sorry.
This is an awesome album.
I'm sorry, people. I don't know how he feels or whatnot, but I can just vouch for myself. First off, let's talk about, of course, the album cover. Beautiful mural. Whoever designed it, we do not know who it was. But yes, take a good look. Even saw this in stores. Very inspired to buy it. Did not buy it that day. I wound up hearing it by this guy right here. And I have to say, my vision is blurred.
Blurred lines blurred? Or?
Nah, not like that. It doesn't live up to what it is trying to convey, according to me. The album itself, it can be choppy at certain points. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to just bash Logic all the way into the ground or whatnot, but some of it is kind of hit and miss. Production-wise, it is perhaps his most polished project yet. I'm just loving his ability to be creative as far as the overarching theme of this album, but song-wise and even down to his delivery, it's kind of, over my head.
That's how he feels about it. I personally enjoyed it. Listening to this thing for the first time made me realize, hey, I should have gotten Under Pressure, and I feel really, really bad. Everybody's heard a bunch of stuff about Logic, how amazing of a flow and cadence he has as far as battle presence, bars, lyricism, and this album essentially reconfirmed that for me.
One thing he's also missing too in his delivery is, inserted right here, individuality. Something that is very, very missing from this album, I believe. It all adds up to that in particular. And that was another little gripe that I had about this particular album. His delivery on many occasions can be very captivating and very competitive as far as the rap and hip-hop marketplace as it is now. His style, it feels like I've been there before and have been there with other people who are a little bit more capable and a little bit more deserving of that space. Once again, don't look at me like I'm a hater. I'm not a hater. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Like I said,
hater.
Whatever. Let's get into the whole album.
So basically, this album dropped November 11th of last year, and it sold over 180,000 copies as far as I'm aware. It was co-produced by Logic with his producer partner Six, and it definitely shows because it's nowhere near as over-polished or over-perfected production-wise as Under Pressure was. And it also is a concept album, if you can't tell already from the title.
Once again, the concept behind it is brilliant. I'm a very big sci-fi supporter and kind of always have been, and so I really did appreciate Logic really expanding this album into this futuristic sci-fi story that is tied together throughout the whole album through interludes, through segues. A lot of great voice acting as well. Shout out to Steve Bloom, i.e. the voice of Tom from Toonami, which basically defined my effing childhood.
What hasn't the dude been on? And the fact that Logic managed to contact Stephen Bloom and have him do voiceover work for the skits that kind of polish and give the album its overarching concept was a stroke of genius.
Sonically, the album is brilliant. Conceptually, the album is very imaginative, which also ties into the 2015-2016 hip-hop marketplace, where we're now seeing this resurgence, I should say, of artists who are, one, in the mainstream, and two, are using their popular platform to really start just going the distance as far as creativity, as far as imaginative narratives throughout their albums. But once again, I feel like I've been here before. Yeah, let's just go on just our favorite moments. Yes!
Once you get past the introduction, that's Contact, right? you get into Fade Away, and Fade Away is just the first track that stands out, simply because of the overarching message in it.
Mm-hmm. Even though it does sound like some of old Kendrick's old throwaways. Production-wise, very nice. However, average listener who's our age and younger could just close their eyes and listen to it and just imagine that this was, say, some album. What's the name? What was that? What, The Pimple Butterfly? Something like that.
Okay.
Great message, though. Yes, one of my favorite tracks on here, Upgrade, which is track 2, or Upgraded. Upgraded was definitely one that I could bump in my truck, I guess, and not feel a sense of betrayal. If they released it as a single, I think it would be very successful on the Billboard charts.
I did like Upgrade.
Yeah. Production, once again, is flawless. Who produced that one?
I'm pretty sure Six produced that one with Logic too.
Yeah.
Also, I love the fact that that song in particular sample the same sample that got used for Players for Slum Village's Fantastic Volume 2. I love Like Whoa. I absolutely love Like Whoa. Like, you can just vibe to it. It's laid back. It is incredibly smooth. It is a cruising tune. What you got to say about it, man?
Sense of betrayal times 5,000. To me, it sounded like style-wise, stylistically, he was just biting Kendrick once again. Logic does have great potential, and I definitely see it for Logic. It will be very interesting to see what his next project after this is going to be.
Gee, I wonder what your thoughts are on I Am the Greatest in Young Jesus. Young Jesus was essentially the first quote-unquote single, I would say. It was probably released as one of those soft singles that kind of came with a digital purchase.
If Young Jesus was released as the first single, I think with that one, it's very predictable to me, because hey, it's going back
immediately braggadocious at the beginning. He's like taking it back to the 90s.
Back to the 90s, which with this one is really not necessarily like vintage, like Ready to Die or Illmatic 90s. It was more like last 2 years, 11th hour of the 90s, production wise and just style wise. Really in the vein of certain people such as Lupac, Dilate Peoples, Hieroglyphics, people like that. Taking it back to the 90s, 11th hour of the 90s. More like that. Production wise, Young Jesus, cool. Lyrically, okay. Lyrically, it was alright. As the first single, or possible first single from this project, it's kind of predictable. Y'all are gonna hate me for this. I can tell that now. I'm sorry.
I'm really thinking.
No, I'm not.
One of the tracks off of this album actually saying that, yeah, it's that Spadiotidopoulos right off the top, and I forgot what the name of it was, because that track was supposed to be...
It was supposed to be the Outkast reunion. With that, Logic, bad timing, because as a person who loves Outkast, I really have to side with Andre with this, with 3000's opinion. In reunion, being a reunion act, you keep it moving. Once again, going back to my earlier statement, Evolution, having them reunite on Logic's album, I mean, they downplayed Coachella after their performance. They downplayed that. Let's just be real. And so they don't want to be boxed into the nostalgic act, and that's very understandable.
The actual title track, The Incredible True Story, was not that bad either.
Mm-hmm. Talk to us about that.
Basically, the whole concept of this album was that this Logic album, The Incredible True Story, was an article that's just been adrift in space. So all of the skits that have just been kind of bridging some of these tracks together kind of help to tell the story, in which Stephen Bloom is playing a captain of this derelict ship. And they're trying to find this album because this album has a very important message that is vital to the survival of mankind.
Which brings me to another point that I did not like about this album. It's too much for this particular release. Not conceptually, you talking about high concepts of this particular nature of mankind trying to find a home or a brand new home in space through this particular album. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the idea that even going back to the Contact segue at the beginning, or the Contact intro at the beginning, when Steve's character is talking to Kai, which I'm getting to him in just a minute. With Kai, it's like this album changed everything, you know. And it's clever. On one hand, it is very clever to have the intro of your album really looking at your album in process as a piece of nostalgia. That's very clever, and I appreciated that little twist that he put on there. However, it ain't Illmatic. It ain't Ready to Die. It's not Into the 36 Chambers. It's not it. As much as Logic will probably wish to some effing fairy somewhere every night saying that, asking if this is gonna be the one to change it all. I'm sorry, but so that's one thing. That's one little hindrance to this release, I think. And I think it's a learning process for Logic. So I think, you know, in future endeavors, he'll definitely look back on this.
I can see that, but I will still take this Logic album over the crop of albums that have been dropped over the past several months. Rap and hip hop wise.
Name us.
Name us.
Names like
Names?
Yes, please.
Like Lupe Fiasco, Tetsuo and Youth, and Kendrick Lamar's Butterfly. Like, you had quite a fair crop of good albums that came out hip hop wise last year. Even Joey Badass's what?
City of Stars is another one that I really enjoyed, and on top of that, I think it would be a great single off of this album. Once again, I think if it was released as a single, it would do wonderful. Love the production. Once again, the drums were just perfect. It was catchy. The synth bass, the certain lines in the synth bass was catchy, and even down to Logic's chorus, which is very inspired by Drake. But yes, it works. It can definitely appeal to not only hip hop charts, but it can appeal to Billboard / pop. It can definitely go either way. Else, the one right behind that, Lord Willin'. Lord Willin' was another one that I found very catchy and very interesting as well. Lord Willin' was, vibe-wise, it was of course a little bit lighter than City of Stars. City of Stars definitely feels like it sonically can just engulf you. Lord Willin' is lyrically appeasing, not the strongest on the record to me. But interestingly enough, I just find it fascinating how if I was a DJ, I would definitely mix in Lord Willin' with, say, Childish Gambino's 3005. And once again, it's an interesting little head nod to Drake, but, you know, which goes back to what I was talking about earlier. Style-wise, I think Logic is in the process of really trying to find himself, and if he is not, he really needs to heed other people's warning about that, or heed the public's warning.
I enjoyed the skits. He didn't. They kind of ruined the flow of the album for you, or did they not really?
Not
help?
Even that. Parts of it, the segues definitely helped. Most of the segues helped. Some aspects of it, yeah, I could take it or leave it. You know, and Kai's character.
The final word. We all know how this goes. The certified ill.
Mm-hmm.
The alright.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ain't no way.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all know how I feel about this album. I call it a certified fresh.
Okay. And so since we're going to go into sort of like subtitles, I'm going to give it a certified meh. It's cool, it's level, but it could have been a little bit more consistent, a little bit better.
You've just watched yourself episode number 2, Musicaplenty.
And so, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Did you love this review? Did you hate this review for whatever reason? Whatever little gripes you might have, comment section is right below.
And subscribe, and if you really enjoyed the album like we did, support the official release.
Please do.
Stream it, purchase it, store buy it, whatever.
More reviews coming up. Just stay tuned to us.
Soon.
So, very soon. Yes.
Hopefully soon.
Yes, very soon. So,
we're trying. Albums still matter.